Let's talk in-ground swimming pools. So, do you look out your back window into your backyard and fantasize about what it would be like to be the hero of your friends and family after you install your luxurious in-ground swimming pool? Are you like Clark Griswold? Well, right now you're thinking, this Christmas I will announce to the whole family that I'm putting in a swimming pool. Well, here in Oklahoma, in July, it's 105 degrees outside, and a lot of us start wondering, maybe we should get that swimming pool. And then a lot of you call me or send me messages, basically begging me to talk you out of it. But hey, I'm not anti-swimming pool. So are you thinking about putting in a swimming pool and want to know the pros and cons of putting in a swimming pool? I'm Natalie Bratton with RE/MAX First in Oklahoma City, and here are some things to consider if installing a swimming pool. So the main reason to put in a pool in the first place is for your own enjoyment and for that of your family and your friends. It's about being social. It's about having parties. It's about being the place where all your kids' friends come over. It's about spending time with your family. It's also about relaxing and being on your own, enjoying a quiet evening in the backyard in the pool to relax, or having a loud, raucous, fun party with everybody you know. It's all about your own personal enjoyment. I'm going to give you a few items to consider, and if all of those things that I tell you to consider pale in comparison to the enjoyment you'll have with your pool, then go for it and install that pool. So basically, when you call me and you say, Natalie, I want to put in a pool, what do you think? You're asking me, Natalie, how much will a pool increase my home value? How much of this expense am I going to get back someday when I sell my house? The answer to that is 5 to 8%. Your pool will increase your home value by 5 to 8%. So depending on the cost of the pool and depending on where you live, it may or may not be worth it. If you live in a $200,000 house and you put in a really nice pool, let's give you the full 8%. 8% times 200,000 is $16,000. So when you install that pool, your home value will go up by $16,000. Ooh, putting in a pool costs you $40,000? So you may decide that it's not worth it if that money means that much to you. Now, if you live in a $500,000 house, $500,000 times 8% is $40,000. So you will increase the home value $40,000. And so if it costs you somewhere $40,000 to $70,000 to put in the pool, then maybe you decide you can eat that cost and it's worth it. It's up to you to decide. The prettier and fancier your pool in your backyard are, you are going to get more up to the 8%. If you just put a slab of concrete and fill it up with water and your backyard's just concrete and a pool, I'd go more on the 5% side. So for those of you who have mega equity in your home, or like you bought it at a ridiculously low price, or if you have paid your house off, this video is not really for you. I mean, you want to put in a pool and you have the money to do it, well, go for it. But this video is for those of you who are like most of us and you have a mortgage, you bought your house at market value, and now you're trying to decide if you should take on the expense of putting in a pool. So if you're planning to put in a pool, I would ask you, as your realtor, how long are you planning to live in the house? If you don't see yourself living there very long, I would probably encourage you to just wait a little while longer and have a pool in your next home, because you do have to, make up for the expense of putting one in. If you don't have a ton of equity in your home and you're going to live there for 2 or 3 more years, and then you spend $40,000 to $70,000 putting in a pool, you may, if you end up trying to sell it 2 years later, you may not have recovered enough from that cost to get out of your house without being upside down or losing money. Once you've installed the pool, you also need to consider the cost of maintaining the pool and taking care of it. You are going to have to decide if you're going to maintain it yourself or if you're going to have a pool boy come and take care of it for you. You could spend probably anywhere from $500 to $4,000 a year just maintaining it. You need to either learn how to do everything yourself, buy the chemicals, buy the stuff, and do that and make sure that you have the time to do it, or you need to pay someone to come out, on a weekly basis and do it for you. Most people at least have somebody come out and help them get it opened up in May and then close it at the end of the summer. But you could have someone come out and do it all for you. So be sure that you get estimates for that and budget for that. You also need to do acid washing and maintenance, servicing on the pump and the vacuums and all the extra special mechanical parts that keep your pool pretty and clean. So don't forget in your excitement to budget in for those things as well. And let's not forget, you're going to want to buy all the fun stuff too. You want to buy more patio furniture, you want to buy more swimsuits, and you want to buy all the floaties and the rafts and the noodles and the goggles so that everybody can have a great time hanging out in your pool. And if you're not on well water and you have a water bill, know that you're going to have to pay a little extra during swimming pool season to keep that pool nice and full. Let's talk design. When I'm out with buyers and we go in homes that have pools, it looks better if you actually have some grass in your backyard. If you walk outside into a backyard and it's all concrete and then a swimming pool in the middle, that's not great. People have dogs and their dogs need a place to go pee-pee. People also have kids and they need a place to put their trampoline. And some people just want to have some trees and some greenery in their backyard. So when you're designing your pool, make sure that your yard is big enough. Is your yard big enough to have a pool? And if it is, make sure that there's still some yard on the sides or in the back. Landscape it. Put some shrubs out there. Don't make it just a sea of concrete and then water. Landscape it. Make it look pretty. Have some grass. I had big plans for this video. I was gonna. My parents have a pool, and I was gonna, get it all decked out. Go to my parents' pool and lounge with a drink and do my video in a pool, to be more hip and cool. But then I would have had to shave, exfoliate, lotion up, and then find a position that's flattering, and then pray I don't drop my phone in the water. And let's face it, I'm at work. I don't have time to go in the middle of the day and shoot a video in a swimming pool. So here I am. I'm sitting at my desk in a dress talking about swimming pools. Does anyone else in your neighborhood have a pool? If other people in your neighborhood have a pool, then you are more likely to get that 7 or 8% increase in value if you add a pool. There are some neighborhoods where it's just kind of what you do. There's a neighborhood in North Edmond called Oak Tree. It's on a golf course. And in my 16 years of real estate, I think I have seen one house in there that wasn't new construction that didn't have a pool. I would bet it probably does now, because in Oak Tree, if you want to sell your house, you need to have a pool, and not just a pool, but a big pergola and gorgeous landscaping and an outdoor kitchen, and it needs to be what we call in the real estate biz an outdoor entertainer's dream. So yeah, if you live in a neighborhood like Oak Tree and you want to add a pool, go for it. You're going to get that 8%. But just know that it has to be more than just a pool. You've got to do the whole outdoor shebang, knock your socks off, make it pretty backyard. But if you are in a neighborhood where nobody else has a pool, then when people are looking for a house to buy with a pool, they're not going to think of your neighborhood. And maybe the people in that price point or that part of town just don't think about swimming pools. If you're in a median to lower price range neighborhood, people aren't worrying about swimming pools. They're caring more about having the interior of their home remodeled, or maybe having a new roof. Do you live in a neighborhood with a neighborhood pool? Now, just because there's a neighborhood pool, that doesn't mean you can't have your own pool. But again, most of the people who are going to look in that neighborhood are the kind of people that want to have access to a pool, but not necessarily take care of a pool. Now, I get it. The neighborhood pool, other kids swim in it, and people's kids pee in the pool. It's okay when your kid does it, but you may, if you're those kind of people that want your own private pool so you only clean up your own messes, I get it. But a neighborhood with a neighborhood pool, that's just another factor to consider. Now, we have a neighborhood pool in my neighborhood, and I know of 2 of my neighbors have pools, and I'm sure they love it. But it's just a factor to consider if you're on the fence about whether or not you should do it. Okay, so here's the ingredients I think you have to have to decide to install a pool at your home. You need to have a lot of equity in your house. You need to have a lot of money, the cash to do it. You need to plan to stay there long term. And you need to have a big yard. If you say no to any of those, wouldn't do it. Yep. So speaking of holes in the ground, you should also watch the video I have on should I add a storm shelter. That's another hole in the ground that you could add to your house while you're at it. That's not quite as expensive. Check it out.